I thought I would give you just a short um, explanation of how I do something when I have pieces I'm working with that have really rough edges on them. And I don't necessarily want to sand them down or change them in any way. So I thought I would show you what I do. You can see here these two beautiful necklaces are for sale on my site. This one is a lion's paw shell, and it is probably a good 2.5 inches across, maybe a little bigger than that. And it's done with bone and crow beads and that kind of thing. It's long, hangs down the neck. And you can see how rough, I'm going to zoom in here, how rough the edges are on this. I mean, it is extremely textured and it's in its natural state. And so that's where I wanted to keep it. It doesn't have anything on it to enhance the color or anything like that. It's just in its natural state. And then over here, I have this beautiful turquoise bone and elk antler piece. And the bone is carved bone. Those are big pieces of turquoise in there with some silver color and copper in there. All right, and so here's the elk antler. It is polished out up here on the top, right? This part of it is polished out. I had someone do that for me because I don't have the tool to do that. But anyway, you can still see it still has some edges on it that are rough. And a lot of times I just don't like things to lose their natural look. Okay, and I'm going to show you this one right here too. This one right here is another elk antler piece, and it is in its natural state. You can see the roughness of it right there, and look at the back where it's been cut. The antler has been cut. So it is very, very rough. I mean, especially these edges right here. And these are the edges, unfortunately, right here that are going to be laying on someone's shirt or skin. Yikes. So this is what I do with things like this. I'm going to turn these over. And if you can see here, I have backed both of these pieces in deer hide. So this one on the turquoise is a suede piece. This one is the non-suede piece. So what I do is I trace the outside of the bottom. I'll trace the outside with a pencil. Then I take my leather and I cut it to fit, and I make sure that every one of the rough edges around here is covered. There is nothing exposed at all around these edges. Same with this one. You can see I have cut it to fit even the grooves of the shell. You can see it's kind of got a little wavy pattern to it there. I've even cut it to fit that wave in the shell. Then what I do, you can see this one really well, I go in and I hand stitch around that edge to give it a finished look. Very, very finished look. You can see it very well on this one. And this one, the suede side's a little different. You can see right here, it's a smaller, this appears to be a smaller piece of sinew, but it's really not. It's just the way it came out on that particular piece. But anyway, I hand stitch it. And then for this one, what I did was I took a very strong glue, like an E6000 or something like that. Not a super glue, things that are used for natural pieces. Glued that down very lightly, not heavy, very lightly touch, because it doesn't take much. and then I let it cure overnight. And then when you get it finished and they lay it on their shirt or their skin, it will not pull or scratch. And on the shell, what I did with this one, because a shell, as you know, is not usually completely flat. It has a scoop in it on the back of it. So what I did with this one to support the shell, inside of here, you can't see it, but inside here behind this is some wool, sheep's wool behind here to support the shell. So when something comes against it, like my fingers pressing on it like this, it won't press directly onto the shell. That cushion of wool will help to cushion the shell. And then same thing, an E6000 type glue, and very carefully glued the edges down, even inside the little scallop going here. You have to take your time, do not rush. Going through the little scallop right there all the way around, and then you let it cure overnight or 24 hours and it's ready to go. And then that way you don't have to alter anything of the natural shape of something. So that's how I did those two. Just thought I would let you know that, because I figured somebody might have that question. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay, that's how I did that. Y'all have a great rest of your afternoon.